Alright guys, so it's gonna be a quick review for Godzilla 2014. I couldn't do this in the beginning because yeah, technically I was doing some stuff and I went to a party after watching the movie, so I really didn't get the time to explain and talk about this film. But I am gonna talk about something. Well, I'm gonna give my review and then I'm gonna talk about it. So in the beginning, let's begin with the movie. They portray the whole Godzilla thing as a recorded type of history, some event stuff like, oh, we found a monster, oh, the tsunami was caused by this. And they show you clips, right? They show you like the studies that they did, sort of similar to the 1998 Godzilla, really similar. But hold on this, uh, they portrayed these monsters as creatures that used to live on Earth, and they're the cause of all the mystery that we happen to know as the Krakow, or those giant marine animals that used to come out and kill the boats and devour everything they saw. So they portrayed the monsters as really old creatures that survived the passing of time. Now, we get into the first scene, and this is where we get Heisenberg. Heisenberg. I forgot his name. If I search it up right now, this is not gonna be a quick review, so whatever. But yeah, we get him, and he's an engineer working in this power plant, nuclear facility, right? Him and his wife. So his kid, it appears that he grows in Japan, and he also gets educated. And this is important because it comes back in the future. We get Heisenberg actually working, and they have this earthquake activity, which he finds weird because he says the magnitude of this earthquakes is not normal, and something else is going on. So right in the beginning, he starts building this conspiracy, right? And we do see a part in which his wife gets caught up in the accident, and she gets killed. Now this is a very hard scene because we do get to see that Heisenberg type of acting that we're used to seeing. Not that Malcolm in the Middle thing, where he's just a comedian and stuff. No, but we do get to see that sad part, and it's really heartbreaking when you see his wife. Now in the commercials, you see him looking at his wife through the little circle that pops out of the security walls, right? But you don't get to see what happens in the build-up. So he's waiting. He's really waiting. And he's trying to see her and trying to save her, and she doesn't come in time. So he's desperate, and they tell him, "Close it, man. We don't want to get the whole building contaminated." And what happens is he does it. He just really does it. And there's a scene where he's just crying, just thinking, "Holy crap, my wife is probably dead or something." And they start knocking on that wall, and he's like, wait. And he gets up, he looks, and it's a bunch of scientists, the ones that were going with his wife. And she's right there, just looking at him, and he's like, holy crap. And that scene, man, is really heart touching. We see how she's saying goodbye. She takes out the helmet. She's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm already infected. I have radiation. What's the point? I'm dead. And she just takes it off, and she tells him, take care of our kid. And the door just keeps getting closed. I mean, it's just so sad. You see him, his hand just there, like, holy shit. It's just so heartbreaking. I didn't like, however, how they give you that heartbreaking moment, and bam, right away you're up into the action. That was kind of fucked up, but again, it's a great build up to her death, and it was pretty sad. The way they did the whole action shit and stuff. And we get to see the earthquake. The whole nuclear facility gets destroyed, and then we break into 15 years in the future. His son, Brody, as you want to call him, he's just there, and they establish this idea that his father became crazy after the death of his mother. Correction, right, because he does. He actually becomes obsessed with finding out what really caused that earthquake. And he knows the truth that, this earthquake wasn't caused by nature. There's something else that caused it. And he keeps on looking for the answers. In a one scene, he actually explains that he's been looking for the answer, and he found something really weird, which was some type of communication, right? I forgot what it was. Sonar? I don't know. I really forgot. But he's trying to understand the creature. This is the part I didn't really understand, so I'm gonna have to watch it twice. But he explains that he actually tried to communicate with the creature, and he got a response, which was freaking creepy, right? He tries to go back to the facility, and this is interesting because the facility was supposed to be like Chernobyl, which is already a whole bunch of radiation, and you can't really go in there or you're dead. So he goes in there, and him and his son. Now his son just like, holy crap, it's my father. Fuck it, I'm gonna go. And he recovers some of the photos. He sees the little thingies that his son used to do for him. And I believe that when his mom died, it was his birthday, so he didn't really get to see the whole thingy that his son put up in the wall. And it's sad. It's really sad. But we get to see that he gets arrested, and they take him into this facility where they're trying to well, before that, I'm sorry, they find this after the incident, right, in the nuclear facility. They find this giant sort of skeleton of an animal, really really huge, and you question whether or not that's Godzilla or somebody else, but they find it, and they find out that these things are parasites that got inside the body and just basically lived there, right? And what caused the earthquake was the fact that one of the eggs actually hatched, and this creature was on its way out. So 15 years ago, this creature was, well, technically speaking, coming to life. And this happens when they're trying to rebuild the whole facility, and after the earthquake, they find this thing out, and they're like, "Holy crap, what is this? We don't know what it is," and it's a whole mystery. So in 15 years' time, they try to develop this. Um, the creatures are parasites. So I'm gonna come back to that in the future. What happens is this guy, Heisenberg, the father of Brody, he just keeps on searching and searching, and he finds this thing out, and he comes to a realization that this thing is not an earthquake, and they're hiding something, right? It's in the scene in the trailers. Heartbreaking too, because he explains that this thing killed his wife. He wants to know what it is, and he finds out that this is a living creature. There's something in there that they just kept studying. And in that scene, it comes to life, and this is where we see the Muto for the first time. Like, the first animal that we see is actually the Muto, full body, boom, boom, boom. And we see how he gets up. He has this new, he has this type of ability where every electromagnetic equipment gets burst out. He's like this sort of electromagnetic creature, electropulse, electronic pulse, whatever. Anyways, so he destroys every equipment, every electronic equipment, and it becomes a chaos, right? And this is where Brody's father, Heisenberg, dies. Literally, he just falls out, and we see later on the scene where he's just, he's about to die, and he tells his son that he has to keep looking for that truth. And we get a sense that they've been studying Godzilla for far too long. The U.S. government, everybody's been studying this giant creature. What they couldn't do is kill it. They really couldn't. They sent a nuclear bomb, and even that wasn't enough. And they explained that all the nuclear tests that they were doing in the islands and Hawaii and etc., it wasn't just to, just test. It was actually to kill this creature, and they couldn't. They really, really couldn't. So it's a big question as to whether or not Godzilla did something before. They do explain that he eats radiation, he eats that nuclear energy, so their source of food is that nuclear energy. And you see that because they try to kill them with this bomb, this nuclear bomb, that's supposed to be like, trillion times or way better than the first one that they use in Hiroshima, or the one that they use in him. And, every time they do that, these things just eat it up. They just like that nuclear energy. And Godzilla is just looking for the Mutos because they explain this in a very, very fancy way. I say that because it's obvious. We know he's the king of monsters, but whatever. They say that he's the alpha predators, which is kind of right because it's like I always say, right? If you can't put a lion and a tiger in the same environment, they would just eat each other up. There's got to be an alpha male, an alpha creature, an alpha predator, right? And in this case, it's Godzilla. So when he starts seeing things out of order, which is the mutants coming out and, they're just doing their thing, he gets all mad and he's like, oh, hell no, I'm going to go out there and kick your ass, nigga. I just said that word. I'm sorry. So it was a big reference because, Godzilla's black. Whatever. Anyways, and even the mutants too. So we get to see they explain that he's an alpha predator and that nature has this ways of doing things, right? And they can't kill him. Literally, the whole movie tries to portray that humans want to kill the Mutos and Godzilla, and the fact is they can't. They really, really can't. So we get to see the part where Godzilla gets shot by missiles and everything else, and nothing happens, literally. And the science point, the military point, is to actually kill them with this weapon that's 10 times stronger, that's going to kill them, nobody can survive this. And their plan is almost demolished because these creatures can destroy every electromagnetic every electric equipment, right? And it obviously becomes a chaos. Now the military at the end is facing the reality. The Godzilla is gonna pretty much fight the two Mutos, and I say two Mutos because, like I said, there was eggs that hatch, and one of them hatch. He's the one that's flying, and the other one is actually in Nevada, which they actually kept the egg. Surprisingly, they kept it. And at the moment that the flying Muto comes to life, the other one actually comes to life as well, which is how they explain Heisenberg theory that they communicated. And this is how they get freaked out because they say, oh, okay, so they communicate, which means they're going to meet up, which means one of them is a male, then another one's a female, and yeah, that's true. One of them carries the eggs and everything. So they get even worse to the point that they want to destroy everything, right? And you see the action. Now, here's the thing I didn't like, and it's my honest opinion, right? The fighting scenes and the destruction and everything. Some people say, oh, that's messed up. We don't see a lot of the monster. We just see the human aspect. I totally get that. I'm actually gonna agree with them on some point. It reminded me of the 1998 movie, and just a little bit, just a tiny bit. But I did love the fact that they didn't really show us the monster and spoil the whole thing. We were actually on the build-up. We were saying, okay, Godzilla's coming, the Mutos, and yeah, definitely when the fight started, holy crap! I'm gonna get right onto the fight. Everything building up to the fight. Now Brody lost his father, his mom, and basically he was like, what the fuck, I lost my father who was crazy for this theory. He was right, I was wrong. I criticized him, said he was crazy, and now he's trying to redeem himself. His mom as well, he remembers that and everything. So you see this type of soldier that's it's heartbroken, but again, he's a soldier, right? A lot of people are saying that his acting was whack, he was boring, he was naturally just being himself, like in Kick-Ass. But no, man, this was different. He portrayed it the way a soldier actually works, which is get the job done and boom, that's it. And Godzilla, the fight, let's go, bam, bam, right away. The fights are short. What I mean by that is that they don't spoil the whole fight like in Pacific Rim. They make it more of seeing how people react, how people are actually living the situation, and then they go back to the fight, which is great because this is what we want. We want to see a Godzilla film where it's realistic. It's not that cheesy as the old ones. So great for that part. In the end, we do see Godzilla getting his ass kicked because the other Muto, which is the female, is huge. It's tremendously huge. I mean, it's just the size of Godzilla, right? Right on top. And the first Muto is really tiny. Obviously he flies, so that's disadvantage. But we do see that part, right? And amazing. Godzilla's actually getting his ass kicked. He's getting beat up. He's about to get killed. And like everybody says, if it wouldn't have been for Brody actually burning all the eggs because he actually destroys them, it's game over for Godzilla. So it was him to save his life, and that was amazing. That part was amazing where he's getting his ass kicked, and you're like, holy shit, come on, Godzilla, just do something. And in the end, I'm gonna say this: the atomic breath, the trademark of Godzilla, is not what you're gonna expect. It's not like in Final Wars where Godzilla just throws this giant beam and boom, it's over. No, it's more natural. It's more like the I describe it as a Kamehameha, like the color and the way it actually came out, kind of floats and stuff. But it was great. I loved it, and the build up to him actually using the atomic breath, man, it was awesome. How his spikes just start turning blue, and boom, it was amazing. Now, the ending scene was great. The monsters had a fight, and it was amazing. However, here is where it's my question. Here is my question about the movie, and nobody's asking this until now. Um, we did say that the Mutos are parasites. They got inside this creature who we don't know who it was. Could be Godzilla's mom, whatever. It's a creature that it's unknown. They got inside, and that's how they started growing. So the question is, after the fight that Godzilla had with the two Mutos, where he actually gets stabbed by those creatures, did he get infected? Is he gonna carry those parasites? I'm sorry, those parasites inside his body, or is that just a pointless, plot? Because if that's true, then it makes sense. Since these creatures are parasites, they probably got inside Godzilla's body, and that could probably be explained in the next film. That's the question that everybody's left on. The ending, we do see people actually celebrating the fact that Godzilla destroyed the two Mutos. Amazing, because yeah, he did the survey. He's the king of kings, the king of all monsters, and yeah, he was totally awesome. Godzilla actually surviving that nuclear, bomb that was supposed to be so strong. That was amazing, man. This guy is unbeatable. But there's yeah, there's the problem. If this was a very very strong nuclear bomb, how the hell did everybody survive radiation? Boom. That's a simple question. If it's not a nuclear bomb, then let me know on the bottom. But yeah, I did see that part. Like I said, I gotta watch it twice because man, it's too much information. So that's the question that I have at the end, whether or not Godzilla is actually infected. That's as simple as that. Because like I said, the mutos are explained as parasites. And if that's true, yeah, we have a whole lot of sequels coming up. Because man, this is insane. We do see that there's more monsters. The mutos were parasites, and the way the Earth was just getting crumbled by these three creatures was amazing. How Godzilla came into the game and started beating the crap out of them. Amazing. I think it was great. I'm not gonna say the Heisenberg part was bad. Obviously, he was a great actor, but I did hate the fact that he died too early. That's simply the only thing I hated. He died way, way too early, and what a great actor, man. That's amazing. The parts that he was playing, uh, top notch, just incredible. As for Godzilla, great, 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 great. Very realistic, not perfectly realistic, because we're not gonna say monsters that size can live, but it was great. And my only question, parasites. Is he infected? As simple as that. So, if the movie, if I gave it a rating, it'll probably be an 8.5. I'm not gonna give it a 10 out of 10 because there's still some things, some issues that I still find out. So for right now, that's my review. It's a great movie. I just gave you a little bit of the plot, spoilers and everything. But great, great film. Like I said, Godzilla, the design, great. The way he moves, kind of slow but natural. It's like a giant bear just going all around. And Atomic Breath, great, amazing. The action, all right. The monsters designs, yeah, they were awesome. I loved it. If they were parasites, that's awesome. And the ending, I loved it as well. So yeah, this movie was a very, very popcornish film where you can go and watch it with anybody and be happy as hell. Loved it. So yeah, guys, 8.5. That's my rating. Once again, I love it. I really, really love it. Good film, and I recommend it.